How's it going, MIAA Nation? Welcome back to another one of our athlete spotlights. My name is Corbin Smith, and we're here to talk to Regan Hodsden, who has been spectacular this year. She ended up winning the 2023 MIAA Cross Country Championship out of Fort Hays State. She claimed her title after crossing the line in a time of 21:29, roughly 7 seconds ahead of Kate Dawson from Pittsburgh State. This was Hodsden's first individual cross-country title, but not her first encounter with success at a championship meet. Last season, she finished sixth at this meet and became an All-American after her finish at the 2022 NCAA Division II Championships. Now, she's looking to continue her success with regional championships on the horizon. So thank you so much for being here, Regan. How are you doing today?
Good. I'm glad to be here.
So we were talking a little bit before we started that it's kind of cold out there in Hays. What's it been like since cross country championships has ended?
It's been nice and chilly. Just getting adjusted, running in the cold again, and bundling up for runs.
So tell me and the viewers a little bit about yourself, like what you're doing in school, how school's been doing. What do you plan to do with your future?
Yeah, so I'm actually originally from Nebraska, and then I went to JUCO at Colby Community College. I'm studying to be an ag educator, so I want to teach high school ag. I'll be doing my student teaching this spring, so I'm looking forward to that. I've really enjoyed my time at Hays. I've made lots of new good friends, and yeah, I'm excited just to keep going to school.
What exactly does ag education entail, or what are you interested in teaching kids about?
Yeah, so ag education, it's pretty broad. You can teach a variety of classes. I like to do a lot of animal science stuff, plant science. You can teach shop classes like welding. I'm actually taking a metals class right now, and so that's been a lot of fun learning all that stuff. So it's a very broad topic, anything agriculture and just getting to work with kids.
Tell us what brought you from, I guess, from JUCO to Fort Hays. What has your journey been like coming out of high school to go to a JUCO and then end up at Hays where you're at right now?
Yeah, so I knew I wanted to run in college. I had originally planned, I was like, I'll just go run 2 years and then I'll be done and go finish school. And my time at Colby was great. I really loved it there. We had a really good team. It might have been small, but I really enjoyed the kids there. And then I was looking to transfer. And I guess with my major, it was kind of, I didn't have a lot of options of schools that offered my degree. And so I had a couple options. I really liked Kansas when I was at Colby. And so I thought Hays would just be the best choice. And I came here and I haven't regretted my choice.
Tell us a little bit about your preparation for MIAA championships. What was going through your mind, I guess, the night before and the day of MIAA championships?
Yeah, so the night before, I was really excited. This season's actually kind of been tough. I had a foot injury, so I'd been missing a lot of meets. Emporia was like the first race that I'd raced back after being injured. I was a little nervous going in, sometimes like my foot would have a little bit of pain and I'd be like, oh, like I just got to get through this. And I, the day before, I was just really excited. And so the day of, I felt really good, really strong. And during the race, starting out, I was just really excited. And so, that adrenaline's going, and then like working up in the race, because I didn't start out front. It took me a little while to take that lead. And so that was just like a lot of fun, just, the mental side of just staying relaxed and calm during racing.
You said you had a foot injury all season, which is strange because I was looking back at your season and you haven't lost a race yet this year. I know we're only 3 races in for you at least. How did you make it seem so easy, and how have you, navigated having a foot injury to becoming the champion that you are now?
Yeah, so well, it was really a hard thing. I trained really hard this summer. I was like, this I want to be like my year. And so I trained really hard, and I went to that first race, which was at Hutch, had a really good race. I got done with my race and I was like, something's wrong. Like my foot is not like, this isn't going to work. And so then after that, I ended up going to the trainer and we found like some issues. And so the training staff has been great here. I've been working with them and we were able to get it kind of healed up. And so just staying strong during that time and consistent and getting my cross training in and just working on building that muscle back up and just trying to solve the issue. I had a lot of support from my teammates and my coaches and the training staff, and so that was very helpful. I got to the point where I was like, okay, I think like we can start running. So my first, I went and ran at Emporia, and I'd only done one workout before that race. So going into it, I was a little scared. I was like, I don't know how in shape I am. Like, it's just, and so that was like a really fun race just to go out and have such a good race. It just was kind of reassuring that like I still am in shape and I still have what I had going into Hutch. And then to be able to go to conference and win the race was just awesome. Really got me excited, and yeah.
I was gonna ask what was going through your head as the race was progressing. Like you said, you didn't get out well in front at least. So what was kind of going through your mind when you saw the finish line? You knew that you were ahead of everybody else. And what was it
Yeah.
like after you crossed the finish line?
Yeah, so I started out my race. I guess my racing strategy, I don't really usually want to start out in the front. And so I felt like I was in good positioning. And, I love running. My teammates, we kind of have like that starting same pace. And so it's always fun to like run with them at the start and, encourage each other. So that was fun. And then with that race, I knew like if I took the lead, I had to be able to keep it. So I knew I needed to pick a spot and then decide to go. And so we were going up one hill and I was like, okay, like this is where I'm going. Like I got to commit to it. So I just went. And usually sometimes on a cross country course, if you're turning, you can kind of look back and see how close someone is behind you. Well, I could not for the life of me see anyone during this race. Like there just wasn't enough of a turn, and I'm not gonna just, look back. And so I had really no idea like where she was at or who was behind me. And so I kind of go off of how people were cheering, to see if, oh, maybe like they're close. So for me, like that last 1K slash 800, I was just like, I gotta go. Like, I don't know how close she is behind me, but I gotta just keep going. And so I guess at that point it was good because it was motivating me to keep going because I didn't know how close someone was behind me. And so, going into that final stretch, I was just like, I better go. Like, I want to keep this place. Like, I've got first. Like, and so ending up finishing in first, it was just so cool. And it was really exciting experience, especially just how my season's gone. I wasn't sure how I was going to end up. And yeah, it was exciting.
Hitting your peak is one of the most difficult things that you can do in this sport. So do you feel like you're hitting that at the right time? Yes, you won a championship. That's what everybody wants to do, but you still have regionals coming up this weekend. So do you feel like you're hitting your peak at the right time? And if not, what do you need to do to hit your peak for regionals and or nationals?
Yeah, so I feel like with my injury this year, peaking's kind of just been thrown off. Like usually I feel like I've had that training to like back me up. And so mentally, I feel like I just have to remind myself that I have trained, I've done the cross training, like I'm getting results. And I think just going into regionals, just trusting the process. And with running, this will be like my fourth year of college running. I feel like I've built up to this point, and I feel like I just feel myself keep getting stronger, and I've seen it in my times getting faster. So I think just trusting the process and going in and knowing I'm going to race the best I can, and this is my last race, could potentially be, I guess, my last race of my season. So I need to just go in and go hard. And we've raced this course before, so I think that also helps me. Kind of, I know this course, I know how I race it well just going into the race.
There's some familiarity with this course, like you just said. What is different in preparation for regionals when you already know the course, and you've already been here before? What's different this week from preparing for conference week?
Yeah, so I've also raced at the conference race before there. So I think that has in its advantages of knowing the course, kind of knowing how you ran it before, just knowing the terrain, like, oh, there's a hill coming up here, so I need to be ready for this, or this is where I can pass people or go. And we've raced this regional course, I think 3 or 4 times. So I'm very familiar with it. Even just knowing like the footing of it, like, oh, this spot's going to be a little slick, that's always an advantage. And I guess just going in and visualizing that race and knowing how I want to race it and where I want to be during the race.
Well, I think that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you to everybody who tuned in to this week's Athlete Spotlight. Reagan will be competing in the 2023 NCAA Central Region Cross Country Championships this Saturday in Joplin, Missouri, for a spot at Nationals. So thank you so much for speaking with me today, Reagan, and good luck to you for the rest of your season.
Yes, thank you.